Hi, everyone. Stella here, just to check in for our 90-day challenge, day 10. I hope everyone is well. I hope you've been able to think about the change that is coming in your life and how to prepare for it and how to plan for your triggers and get through the difficult moments. We're going to talk about some difficult moments right now, and I want to tap into mindfulness. So, our challenge for day 10 is to just begin to develop. Sorry, I was going to say to develop, and then I was like, nah, begin. We're going to begin to develop a wise, mindful mind. I don't know about you, but one of the things that I've been working on for years and that I'm more aware of now than ever is my the way I react, my reactions. Um, I, I think I spent a lot of years in reaction or reactive mode. And as a skillful communicator, I became a very active listener, but I was still reactionary. And so I felt like I was constantly reacting to life, to things, to happenings. And when we're in that constant reaction mode, it's hard to pause and take inventory of what we're actually feeling because we're almost in fight or flight. And typically, if we're reacting, we're in fight mode. Even though it might not look like an argument or a physical altercation, of course, our mind is saying, react, fight, change this, make it different, make it better, do something. So, my challenge for day 10 is to ask everyone to begin to develop this wise, mindful mind in this space where we can kind of sit back and simply watch, observe, become an observer. So, see if you can do it tonight at dinner time, or when the kids are doing homework, or when your partner sits down and demands a bunch of things, or goes into their work day, or forgets something that was really important to you that you thought for sure they shouldn't forget or wouldn't forget. And just kind of sit quietly in a safe, peaceful space and just simply observe without reacting. If we can put this into practice every day as we heal through trauma, our minds are being trained to be more mindful of what we're feeling and what emotions surface as these jack in the boxes open up in front of us and as things happen. Healing from trauma is very layered and it takes often a retraining and a reframing. So, retraining our brains and reframing our minds and our thoughts. The more we practice, the more at peace we will feel, especially when something like a trigger happens or an incident happens. So, a year ago today, my daughter was flown home from her out of state facility where I was certain she was going to get the mental health help she needed. It was the start of what would turn into pure hell for me for the entire year of 2021. And I think I spent most of the years before in this reactionary stage where, it's almost like not active listening when we're waiting for a pause in the conversation to say something instead of really paying attention to what the other person is saying. Much like that, I think I wasn't really paying attention to what was going on around me. My relationship crumbled. And as I look back now, I think we were in crisis long before I knew, which, to be honest, is a completely different level of deception than I'm ready to talk about right now. But I was in this reactionary space so much, especially when it came to my daughter's health. And I was in this mama bear phase where I wanted to help her and save her, and anybody who stopped me or came between us or offered a different solution than the one I agreed with was just getting in my way. And now, a year later, we're all still on this path of healing and recognizing and naming our vulnerabilities. I think I have trained myself a little better, certainly not all the time, to be a little more mindful of how I'm feeling and naming those emotions and pulling the feelings along with those emotions so that I can sit and observe before I react. I'm not saying I don't ever react. I certainly do. We all do, because we are humans. This is why I suggest we all live inside the vulnerable, because we are human. And when we live inside the vulnerable spaces in our minds, in our hearts, in our lives, we invite others to see us exactly how we are and to love us and accept us because of those vulnerabilities, not in spite of them. And giving away those vulnerable moments to someone we love is a gift. So, my challenge for day 10 is to sit and observe, especially when something big happens. Maybe it's watching the news instead of yelling at the TV, watching the football game instead of yelling at the TV. Sit and observe and just feel what you're feeling and see if you can name those emotions and then pull the feelings that come with them. When your children argue, when you disagree with your partner, when something happens at work, when the world blows up in your face, which it does, like every Tuesday, right? See if you can sit and observe. It doesn't mean don't react. It doesn't mean sit back and, open up your popcorn and do nothing. But kind of like the old adage of take 10 deep breaths, just inhale and exhale and observe what's going on before reacting. Watch life unfold in front of you. As long as there's no emergency, you have time to think about what you're going to do or what you're going to say before it happens. So watch it unfold. Watch situations in front of you happen before you decide you're going to jump in head first, or before you decide you're going to run from it altogether. So that's my challenge. Mindful observation. Become an observer and start to develop this wise, mindful space inside your head, especially in these difficult moments. Continue, as always, to live inside the vulnerable. I appreciate you and your support. Take care. I will see you guys tomorrow.